Working in the ER can feel very chaotic. You're juggling multiple patients, urgent interventions, and endless tasks. Without a game plan, it's easy to feel like you're drowning in work. Having a clear plan of attack helps you stay organized, efficient, and most importantly, effective at saving lives while maintaining and managing your energy. In this video, I'll help you learn how to build a game plan to prioritize tasks, group your care efficiently, and stay flexible when things inevitably get chaotic. So let's dive in. In the ER, you're going to have multiple patients with competing needs. Urgent tasks like placing IVs, giving medications, performing assessments, and taking patients to imaging, and countless other things. Plus, you're going to have constantly shifting priorities because, again, it's the ER. Without a plan, you're going to feel overwhelmed and inefficient, constantly chasing after tasks rather than staying ahead of the chaos, rather than staying ahead of those tasks. Without a game plan, again, you're going to miss priorities, you're going to feel like you're drowning, and you're going to burn out faster as an ER nurse. So, when you have multiple patients, take a moment to figure out everything you need to do. For each patient, identify the medications you need to give, whether IV, PO, the drips and infusions, the lab draws you must get or the results that you're waiting for and that you need to keep an eye out for, the assessments you must perform, including repeating a set of vital signs, repeating physical assessments, making sure that the interventions are working. Other things include transporting patients to radiology, such as CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and other things can include procedures or interventions like getting ready for a central line or a thoracentesis or a procedural sedation. But again, when you have multiple patients, take a moment and figure out everything you need to do for each. Once you know what needs to be done, prioritize by asking two questions. Who is the sickest? For example, a septic, UTI, hypotensive elderly female patient needs your attention over a stable patient waiting for discharge or a stable patient waiting for a bed admission upstairs, right? Also, prioritize by asking which tasks are the most critical. IV fluids for a crashing patient or urgent antibiotics take priority over routine PO medications for border patients waiting for a bed. So let's say you have 3 patients. Patient 1 is a new arrival coming in for abdominal pain, vomiting, and hypotension. This patient needs IV placement, fluids, medications, labs, and CT. Okay, so patient 2 is a stable chest pain patient waiting on lab results, including troponin. The ECG looked okay, is not actively complaining of any chest pain, but the family is currently requesting an update and warm blankets for the patient, but everything has been done. Patient 3 is an admission waiting for a room. They need PO medications, including their daily vitamins, their colace, and their basic needs. Your priority is patient 1. You want to get the life-saving interventions done first. The border PO meds can wait. The warm blankets can wait. That's things for a stable patient. You want to prioritize patient 1 and get those life-saving interventions done first. Then you want to make sure that you're grouping your care because grouping your care saves time. It keeps you organized and again, avoids bouncing back and forth between rooms. When you enter a patient's room, do as much as you can when you're in the room. Give the meds, draw the labs, do the ECG if you're unable to delegate it, do your assessment, reassess those vital signs, update the patient, help them adjust in bed, and so forth. This way, you are not having to go back into the room for things you could have done while you were in there. So for the hypotensive septic patient, when you go into the room, make sure you have everything you need to place an IV, to draw the labs, to start the fluids, and to hang the antibiotics. And before leaving, you ensure that the cardiac monitor is set to repeat the blood pressure frequently. Next, there's no way that you're going to remember every single task, including lab results or medications, right? Especially hours into your shift. So writing it down helps you stay organized and prevent any missed tasks. Here's what works for me. I use a piece of paper to keep track of each patient. I list out each task that I need to do for each, including meds, labs, assessments, and so forth, with a small checkbox next to the item. As I complete a task, I check it off. Simple and yet effective. I also review these notes that I'm taking in the EHR frequently throughout my shift. Things get canceled, orders get added, and the patient's conditions change. So you need to stay updated by constantly reviewing the notes you have taken, the tasks you have, and the EHR again to make sure that nothing got canceled or that nothing got added. And then even with the best game plan, the ER is going to be unpredictable. A critical patient can come in and completely change your focus. If this happens, assess the new priority, shift your focus to the most critical patient, ask for help when you need to. If you're managing multiple unstable patients, you will need more hands to manage everything. For example, if you're with a stable patient and EMS rolls in with the critical patient, you shift your focus immediately. Your stable patient can wait and your team is going to understand that. Again, the ER is a 24-hour facility. You won't get everything done, and that's okay. Focus on the life-saving interventions and the critical tasks. Don't beat yourself up for not finishing every minor task. That's why the next shift is there, to pick up where you left off. Your goal is not to be perfect, it's to prioritize the life-saving interventions and be as efficient as possible. And then just super quick, if you want additional help with mastering the basics of the ER, consider checking out our book or our course. The links are going to be in the description and in a pinned comment. And then let's review. Let's do a quick recap. Make a game plan by listing out everything you need to do. Prioritize based on who's the sickest and what's most critical. Group your care to save time and energy. Write everything down. Don't rely on your memory. And then stay flexible because the ER is fast-paced and unpredictable. And most importantly, give yourself grace. You're doing your best in a high-pressure environment. And as always, teamwork makes the dream work. And here at Emergency Chaos, we are proactive, not reactive.